Shoots. Oh, welcome everyone to the spam folder. This is our pilot episode. Right now we only have 3 people here. How many are we normally supposed to have?
5.
First episode, but okay. We have 3/5 of the cast here. We're just doing a practice recording, see how it goes. This will introduce ourselves. Let's go first.
Well, you're already
Alright,
talking.
Shoots. Hi, I'm Wyatt. I'm 34 years old. I like puppies and long walks on the beach. I don't know. There's not really much to say about myself.
Is that your intro or your Tinder bio?
Okay.
Listen.
I got you. Alright, now it's my turn. Hi, I'm Axel. I'm 12 years old. I should not be interacting with these men. That's all you need to know about me.
Wait, pause. Oh, I forgot to start a timer. Oh shit. Okay, there you go.
Hey, we're making up these alibis. Might as well have fun with it.
Yes, and I have no name. I just go by Cello, and I don't know why I'm friends with these guys.
Yeah.
I just
Well,
they just pulled a gun on me virtually, and now I'm here.
12.
Well, yeah, this is the podcast. There's a middle-aged guy, a little boy, and a string instrument.
Okay, just for disclaimers. I don't know why I'm saying disclaimers. Disclaimer: I can't speak. We're all adults. We're all 19.
Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck?
I mean, there's like 10 billion 19-year-olds in this fucking world. We're fine. No worries.
Oh yeah. But also another disclaimer, not so much for the, I guess, not viewers, the listeners, whatever entity is going to be acknowledging this podcast. I already almost did it. What happens if I accidentally say your name? Like,
it's a pain in the ass, but I'll bleep it.
Okay.
So it'll sound like you said
because I already messed up then.
It'll sound like you said like a racial slur.
Oh, right on. So can I call you racial slurs? They won't know the difference.
No.
It'll just sound like I'm... Alright. I forget I said anything.
Well, Jesus.
God, we're such a dumpster fire.
Yeah, alright.
It's okay.
Okay, you guys...
Yeah, this is why it's the spam folder, you know? This is where all the junk
just a bunch of
gathers up.
Random shit. Casbah filtering. Alright, yeah, basically, I'm not even gonna make a joke off of that because that's just stupid.
It's gonna get us demonetized.
What's gonna be the first subject? No, it's not. It's not gonna get us demonetized. It's security plus questions that, there's a good amount of people that have it, but it's just stupid. It's not, I guess, general enough for everybody to enjoy. But whatever. For
all of you wondering, you're probably wondering, who are these guys? Why am I listening to this fucking podcast? And how these guys met. So, actually, yeah, how did we meet? I would say mostly through middle school, right?
Shit. Middle school?
I think I swear I met all of you guys through middle school.
Yeah.
So, I think I first met Wyatt. Okay, so shall I try and tell the story from my perspective?
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, go for it.
So,
yeah.
So at the time, we all went to middle school in Hawaii, and so let's see. I was doing this media class because I didn't want to do, because in our middle school we had like this what's it called, Wyatt? It was like a
Explorer wheel.
Right? Yeah, it's Explorer wheel where you take 3 classes throughout entire year, and
I remember that.
You take each class like 1/3 of the year, and it's like 3 dumb classes like home ec. Like, was it, what kind of dancing class? It was like a Zumba?
No,
salsa?
even better, it was ballroom
just regular
dancing,
dance class.
Oh, ballroom! Oh my god!
That's what we had to do in
dancing
for 8th grade.
Really? I remember that.
Ballroom dancing, and
I didn't
something else. What was the last one?
Ballroom dancing, because it wasn't ballroom music.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was basically like
no,
a teacher.
It was that abysmal.
No, just like
song.
cello. Like I dipped out of that immediately.
Oh, no, you see, yeah. So to avoid that horrendous trifecta of terrible classes, alliteration. to avoid those classes, I enrolled in this media class. I don't know why. I don't know how I got it. I knew the teacher actually. So she is a nice lady, very nice lady. She's now retired. But so we did this media class where they basically taught us like basic like video editing software, like the like, and that's how I met Wyatt, because he was taking that class too. Because he soon too realized that Explorer Wheel was absolute trash. I love the teachers at that school. And a lot of them were very good people, but that class, just that setup of like terrible.
But the
classes
whole
was
Hawaii education system was trash.
Yeah, it was kind of bizarre, but kind of cool too. Like, you had your normal, math, science, history, but then like Explorer Wheel was where 1/3 of the year was dedicated to one thing, a third to another, a third to a different subject. You just like rotate at the year. And I mean, like, well, you also had robotics and home ec for 8th grade, which I was kind of disappointed I missed. Like, gosh, dang, man, like.
Believe me, robotics was just you being with a possible pedophile in a workshop. It was very uncomfortable.
Dude.
It was just like this middle-aged man.
Oh my lord!
It was pretty gross. He like taught us how to properly operate all these like tools to cut wood and everything, which we learned about, and he emphasized on it a lot because safety and all that. But we never ever turned it on. So the guy was just fucking around, just cashing in, just finding reasons to kill time.
Can I interject real fast? We're not accusing anyone of being a pedophile. It's just on topics we probably shouldn't say on the podcast.
Hey, I didn't
just
say
before
anything.
Fair enough.
That's a good 5 minutes just talking about like, okay, what can we say, what shouldn't we say on this podcast?
Yeah, but I mean,
Axel's
I didn't say his
the
name.
Line. He's towing the line.
I don't even remember his name.
Between the line.
What is
and like we didn't tell anyone we went to Tabantha Middle School. What? Crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, basically I met.
Oh,
okay, we got really off topic, but it's okay. So I met Wyatt through that media class, and Axel, he's a military. He's part of the military family. That's not doxing, right?
Just throw my business out here.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of military families at the school we went to. So, and you're just one of the people that just transferred in. And he transferred to my homeroom.
Fine.
And yeah, that's how I met Axel. Because he was like the new kid that everyone just became friends with, pretty much. At least from my perspective.
Yeah.
And I think what solidified our friendship, Axel, was when we took you to the court and you started sinking shots immediately. He is fresh off the plane. I don't know. I remember you and Ethan were like pretty decent at basketball. That's how I met a lot of people, honestly, like at the courts.
Okay, then clearly you don't have good memories because I am sweaty ass in basketball.
Oh, maybe it was Ethan that was balling out then.
Me.
I forget.
It was probably Ethan. Ethan was actually really good on basketball. Yeah, he could shoot. He could like run on in the paint and score. The guy was pretty good.
Everyone was ass back then at basketball. So if you can make like 2 baskets out of like 20, you're considered pretty good.
That's true, but Ethan was consistent.
Ethan's always been consistent.
Later on, even when we were in high school, yeah, he was actually really good.
Shout out to Ethan. We'll get him on the podcast eventually.
Yeah. Oh yeah, if he ever has free time. Does he still work at Starbucks?
I don't know. Well, yeah, good job at doc. Well, actually, I was gonna say good job at doxing him, but then again, there's like a million.
Dude, it's a chain, my guy.
Which specific Starbucks is that?
Yeah.
And, what's his last name?
Oh, the one in on the island. I don't even know that many Starbucks, to be honest. I really. If you're persistent enough, you probably find them eventually.
I don't know if Ethan moved off island though. That's the only reason why I can't freaking remember.
No, he's still in Hawaii.
Let me check Snapchat. Let me use Snapchat location.
He asked me, "What are you talking about, my guy?"
For the nature of Starbucks, you could name like one street, and you'd only narrow it down to like 6 Starbucks.
Yeah, basically. Good old capitalism.
Oh yeah, Ethan's in Yeah,
Dude, you really
Ethan's
think?
on island. Yeah, thanks to Snapchat.
Yeah, you seriously thought that he left the island?
Well, I remember talking to him a while ago
I'm not
about
even on
how
island.
he might leave the island to do like his like what the last 2 years of college on the mainland or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
So
that.
basically, how we met each other was through middle school, and then we've been friends ever since.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I guess I could say in my
Yeah, sure,
perspective.
go for it.
See what I can remember. So personally, I don't. For Wyatt and I don't think we really known each
Yeah.
other that long. But I know that we truly started getting to know each other in English class.
Yeah.
First period.
Oh man, I remember that
Yeah, you remember
fairly
that?
well. Yeah.
Forgot her name. Yeah, I forgot her name. The teacher's name.
It's okay. You don't have to
It's kind of
remember
a
it for
dick
this
move to me
podcast.
because she.
Remember?
Yeah, I know, but she seems to like always remember me.
I remember her name. It's
Yeah,
because
it was pretty...
she has a married name, and her married name does not at all match her ethnicity.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, it did not match. It was like an
Yeah.
Asian ass name, and she's white. Yeah. Okay, now thanks to that, I sort of remember. Well, I'm too scared of saying anything because I'm not sure enough that I'd have the name or I'd just say something racist. But
Oh my god.
But anyways, I really got to know Wyatt. I think I got to know Wyatt more there because I seen him around campus all the time, and I hear you being mentioned amongst other people too, like and I guess Logan's kind of like I guess like a chain. It's not necessarily what like got us to meet each other and everything, but it kind of like further enforces us to associate
That's
each
two
other
beeps I gotta do.
with
Nice.
one another.
Okay.
Rip.
It's
Did
okay.
I didn't even
Honestly,
notice. Well, how
I'll
do you
think it
know
over
what
tonight,
it is?
and whether or not I go over by the alias or whatever,
Yeah.
I'll just do it and I'll figure it out.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah, I think that was really how we got to know each
Yeah.
other. And for me and what was it, Cello? I'm gonna have to take some time to get used to that. But yeah, it was. I think it was middle school. Yeah, it was middle school because you were on my. What is it called? It's like homeroom.
Oh, yeah, Cap.
It's like cap or something. Yeah,
Do other
cap
high schools
class.
call it Cap?
Yeah, so
Otherwise, we might.
I highly doubt it. I think it's
Okay.
just homeroom. Yeah, but yeah. Since he wants to dox me, I might as well say it.
Oh.
Yeah,
I think he's dead.
Guys, hello?
I think he died. Okay, now it's time to talk shit about him. No,
Cello, we're just talking shit about you, man.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know what happened? I don't know why, but
What?
what was it called? I don't know if it was my brother or my parents. They were flipping the switch breakers. I think they flipped the one that led to the office, which has the Wi-Fi router. And I was connected to my computer. Now I'm on my phone, so I think am I kind of clear? Okay, I'll just go on my phone.
Yeah, you're
for the
still
rest of
good.
this. It's fine.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
consistent. But
So, what were we
going
talking
back
about
to what I
before,
was
I got-
saying. So I was basically just explaining how you and I met. Well, not the specific moment, but how we. You know what I mean. But anyways, yeah, I would since Cello wants to dox me,
What?
son of a bitch, I might as well say, oh no, I'm just messing around. That I did move from out of state, and when I moved there, it was I got into this thing called CAP class, and it's like homeroom, but in middle school. This was 8th grade, by the way. And when I got there, Logan was one of the guys, like one of the first guys, I guess I got more familiar with and became pretty good friends. Like, I mean, right now we already graduated from high school, and we're still talking to each other. I mean, we're right here talking. But yeah, I got to know him through middle school, and we still remained friends, and we went through high school together too.
Went through judo.
It was pretty good.
We played a lot of Xbox. Yeah, all that good shit.
Oh yeah, it wasn't only like in school. It's like we did like out of school activities. Sadly, we didn't get to do that much with the Wyatt. I don't even
I
know
don't
why.
know.
But
Yeah, yeah, definitely throughout high school, I had the same experience as you, Axel. Of like, you were always the person that I hear a
Yeah.
lot about. You know, you're like the friend of a friend.
yeah,
Huge chunk of my
exactly.
friends are all
That's a
friends with you,
great way to
Axel.
say it.
But like, I don't know, just like
Yeah,
whatever
me
reason,
too.
our stuff just never aligned.
Can't believe I didn't even think of a friend of a friend. That's actually the perfect explanation
Yeah,
of
and
it.
then luckily we finally
Yeah.
like we finally had the opportunity to have like a good meaningful conversation. Literally at the very end of our senior year during during Project Grad. Oh,
Hated
dude.
that so
Jesus Christ. Oh man,
much.
that's a whole story in and of itself. But just man, what a great way to waste
Yeah,
$200.
the biggest
Oh
scam of
man.
the year.
Oh, whoa,
Anyway,
wait.
Oh yeah.
Okay, hold on. Keep going. Or actually,
Okay.
why didn't actually you guys talk about
Yeah.
Project Crab without?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, fuck it. You go ahead, why you explain how you
Alright,
experienced it and
so
all
for
that.
those of you who don't know, Project Grad was like a thing. It was like a little party thing that they'd have for the seniors immediately after graduation.
I think that's actually a normal thing to have because I noticed other schools had that too, and not only the ones on island, but
Oh
the
really?
rest of the country.
Alright.
They'd have like one. Yeah, because I met this one guy in Georgia, and their project grad was a whole day in Six Flags. It was amazing. Yeah, and they had like celebrities doing
Jesus
a concert and
Christ.
everything. I mean, he's Jewish, so they have like funding like
Oh,
crazy.
right on. Yeah, we went to
Oh yeah.
public school, so
So for those who don't
Yeah.
know, Project Grad is kind of like a program for like seniors like graduation from like high school or whatever, where the right after the graduation ceremony, it's like a school sponsored thing where run by like parents and volunteers and stuff, where they take the graduates to like go somewhere like that is like monitored, quote unquote monitored, safe, whatever. So like people after graduation don't go out partying, doing dangerous shit, like doing drugs and whatnot. And it's well intentioned, but our experience, it was not the worst, but at the same time, it was not the best.
So bad. I wish they smuggled heroin.
I
in
wouldn't
the
be surprised if
bathroom.
that actually happened that
It was
night.
just, it was so
I'll be
bad.
honest.
Yeah,
So anyone, so who would like
I
to
wouldn't be surprised.
take it away the story of our project grad?
To continue,
yeah, so usually like Axel said, it's like a big experience, whole party, supposed to be real fun. I know my sister personally, she they went to like a whole like newly renovated rec center and they had like water slides and a whole arcade. So I thought that sounds pretty good, a little final like go out with a bang, to spend some money and have some final memories with some friends and colleagues. We get there, it's not that. It's so, oh man, it's so hard to describe just the disappointment that went into that. It was what it was they took us out on Waikiki trolleys, those like wooden open air buses that they take tourists on. And then they drove us around Waikiki like at night. And that was a lot of fun. Like spirits were super high. Everyone was screaming at all the tourists walking by. We just graduated. Ah! Oh man, you're like shaking the bus around, and I think the bus has a button to like rock back and forth on its own. Man, that was cool. That was the most fun.
No, that bus rocked back and forth. That bus was rocking back and forth on the power of like a bunch of like hyper 18-year-olds. That was not function, unfortunately.
That says a lot. That the ride to the actual event was a lot more fun than the actual event itself.
Oh my god! So they finally take us to the destination, and it's I can say the location. It's a place called Dole Cannery, which is like like an old it's where Dole used to can all their pineapples. Yeah,
Oh,
but they've
really?
since converted it into
Oh,
like a
catering?
little shopping center and movie theater. But upstairs they have like a small complex of ballrooms, and they took us up there. Um, and what is it? They like in the main ballroom they had like a DJ and a dance floor and like a buffet thing of food. Um, and then like in the nearby rooms they just had some like carnival games set up. There's like a like styrofoam bow and arrow and like a little like temporary tattoo artist station. There's like maybe like
Things made for like a
yeah,
12-year-old's
definitely. It was
birthday.
made for like a 12-year-old's birthday
Yeah.
with like maybe a dozen guests. There was like maybe like
Mhm.
60 plus of us, and it was like 8 hours long, and we weren't allowed to leave.
Overnight.
We didn't even have our phones or anything. We weren't
Yeah,
allowed
dude, they
to
freaking
do that.
yeah, we weren't allowed to have our
Hmm?
phones, and we weren't allowed to have jewelry. And when I went to the sign in, I friggin'
Really? We weren't allowed to have jewelry?
yeah,
I didn't even know that.
I knew that
Why?
rule like an idiot. When I went into sign in, I told them, "Oh, I have a watch. Is that okay?" And they're like, "Oh, let me check." And they went to talk with the volunteers, and they came back and said, no, you can't take that." If I didn't mention that,
The hell? You're not allowed to have a
oh
watch?
Yeah,
man,
dude. Why is Rolly is considered jewelry, man? You got that Rolly on.
Oh yeah, for real.
it took my rolling,
Oh, yeah.
dude. Like
Mine
that.
has a 7. Oh
Seriously,
yeah.
I kid you not. Like the main
A
just
watch?
torture of that event was not knowing what time it was because there are no clocks anywhere in that place.
Oh yeah.
It was nighttime, so you couldn't see the passage of day.
Yeah, that was just
So you're
terrible.
just like stuck in that room.
And there were no
Yeah,
windows.
there's no windows. There's like a skylight in some like off hallway, but you couldn't really get a good view of anything. Oh man, it like literally it was.
I'm surprised. I did not know that you weren't allowed to have a watch. I had a watch the whole time, and I was just every minute I was just looking at it and just shouting at everybody like it's
Well,
fucking
to be
Oh,
fair,
1201.
to be fair,
Like, this is
Axel,
bullshit.
that that $2 Hello Kitty watch wouldn't really classify as jewelry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got me there. I mean,
Hey,
cello.
hey,
Zing.
it's a nice
No,
watch
but it was
though. I'll
just.
give you credit though. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's a collection.
Oh yeah, you know, there's one nice thing
yeah,
about there's one nice thing about Project Grad, and is that downstairs there's like a arcade, mini golf, laser tag little place, and then
Yeah.
we got to take our turns doing that like once. We get to rotate back and forth. We only got maybe like 15 minutes in each thing. So I got to
Oh,
play like
yeah.
15 minutes of like one arcade game, and then play one round of laser tag, and then like knock a ball around. And then that was it. Oh man.
Yeah, for me, how I experienced it was on that stupid trolley ride. It's wooden. It's a good way to explain it to people who aren't familiar with that is San Francisco. You know the little rail carts. You know they're very famous for it. You don't even have to be there to know about it. It's basically that, but with actual wheels on it. So it's just a bus
Yeah,
with
that's
the
a good
body
way
of
to
that.
describe it.
And yeah, on the ride around it was like a ride around a certain area, touristic area, just to have fun. It's like a scenic route, and you're shouting, and even other schools are doing the same thing. So the cool thing was like hanging out and then like giving high fives to other schools. Now looking back at it, it was like the gayest shit we've ever done. It's like yeah, I just realized how gay that was. But the thing that I felt is like, yeah, it was fun, and when we were rocking the thing, I also realized how gay that was and kind of autistic. But anyways, on the ride right by the other schools, we noticed that okay, we already passed this area. We must have already finished the whole like tour thing, so we're coming towards our actual destination. They didn't tell us where, so they left us guessing on the ride. And we start seeing over there. There's some nice places like Dave and Buster's, there's Buca di
Oh yeah,
Beppo,
yeah.
all that. And
Nope.
yeah, I started looking at that. Everybody's guessing. It's like, oh my god, we might be going there. We might be going there. And then another one of those schools had their little cart things too, and then we saw them take like the right turn into that area. I think it was like it was I don't even know what school it was. It doesn't matter. But right when they turned in there, we were like, "Oh, so we must be going to like to some other cool place. I don't know, some fancy hotel by the
Yeah.
beach, something, maybe another luau or something." And then, oh, that's another good one to talk about the luau that
Oh
we had,
man.
which was also terrible.
We'll get back to that.
But going back
Yeah.
to what I was saying, yeah, going back to what I was talking about, it's like okay, you're not. I wasn't as happy, but I was still like, I spent a shit ton of money. It must be still good. By the way, I paid the late, so I paid I think almost three
Well,
hundred
that's on you
bucks,
for paying
which is
late. That's
ridiculous.
for it was like it was
No,
way
no, no.
cheaper.
Even this is a public school. They still shouldn't have charged
Well,
that
you didn't have
much.
to go to this thing. We weren't forced. It was like a voluntary thing.
That's true, but you know how they. I mean, you're telling me that if you're paying like $300 for an event, I mean, I'm late and everything, but still, you think charging that much was justifiable to some kid that just graduated from high school? This kid clearly doesn't have a consistent flow of cash. Anyways, let me stop ranting on something stupid like that.
Okay, sorry.
Not me, being mad about it. It's them pricing. That's
Yeah.
what's stupid. But anyways, it's like, hey, I paid almost $300. Hey, we're not stopping at Dave and Buster's or the movie theater over there, or Buca di Beppo. I'm not that mad. We must be still going to somewhere amazing, something that makes this totally worth it. Make me forget about me spending that much money. And then when I noticed, we're going back to one of the previous areas that we passed by, and it was the Dole Cannery. And all I could think about was, homeless people on the way there. The movie theater. The movie theater is not bad. It's it's okay. And I mean, I love movies, so even if we went to the movie theater, I wouldn't even be that mad. I'll still be mad, but not as mad. And then I realized, oh yeah, there's a lounge. There's like this lounge ball area, and that's when I went, fuck. Right when they
Yep.
stopped, I'm like, fuck, because I never been in there. Why I only see like old people or like young people with their families going up there, and it's it's gonna be empty rooms. So it's like, hey, maybe it'll be cool, but I know it wasn't gonna be cool if
Yeah.
they
Like
picked
for
that
for
place.
people who don't know the area, picture like we're passing through Waikiki, passing.
It's behind
Yeah,
the
we're
Lowe's, right?
passing Waikiki. We're passing all these,
Yeah.
high-end hotels and restaurants and cool places to do. And there's not a lot of cool things to do in Honolulu, but like we're passing all these cool places
But
downtown.
that's the
We're
place.
passing Ala Moana Shopping Center, Ala Moana Beach Park. We're passing Buca de Beppo's, Dave and Buster's, and then finally
More
we get to
shopping
Dole,
center.
which is in like this friggin' industrial warehouse region of the city.
Yeah,
And like
it's in the
literally, it's on
industrial district.
it's on Ivile Street. Just down the street is like a homeless shelter and a Salvation Army, and there's tons of people just like on the streets with shopping carts stolen from the Costco next door.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, the Costco was there.
Dude, I
forgot
literally
about
like
that.
had the thought like, I hope we go to Costco instead.
Yeah, I would much rather go
Literally-
to Costco. Hell, I'd bring my membership card.
Yeah,
I don't give
it
a
would
fuck.
have like even just like spending the whole night just a bunch of teenagers locked in like a Costco warehouse. That would have been cooler than what we had.
Dude, the samples were better than the catering there. Oh my god. I hated the
Freaking had a tin
food
of like
there.
McDonald's cold French fries that were reheated.
Dude, that was so fucking gross. I was insulted.
Yo, Axel, dude, one word:
was-
hypnotist. Do you remember that guy?
Oh my
Okay.
god, you remember that? You remember me?
Oh,
Yeah.
that guy?
wait.
Gosh.
Hold
Dude.
on. So
Okay.
can I just throw in my perspective real fast?
Sorry, I realized
Yeah,
we're kind
yeah,
of
go ahead,
excluding.
No, it's okay. I wanted you guys to have your.
I didn't even
your,
finish, but
expect.
we'll all meet up at the same time, and then we'll get to
Okay.
to the rest.
So I'm gonna put it this way. So prior to this Project Grad thing, what I did, I think it was either both my sophomore or my junior year or something like that. That was like the teen like midterm elections. So for those, I volunteer. Well, voluntold. I was voluntold by my mom to work at the polling place that was the middle school for like
I remember
a 12-hour shift.
you
It wasn't
telling us
hard. It's
that.
just like verifying, making sure there's no voter fraud or any of that bullshit. How old people use that electronic voter thingy. Yeah. Anyway, so the thing about that volunteer, I did get paid, but all of my pay from that went straight to Project Grad. So like I donated money to help fund Project Grad.
Wow,
Yeah,
get
I spent
fucked.
like 2 24-hour days basically funding Project Grad. So yeah.
Somebody was
Yeah.
embezzling your ass.
So
Marcello, I'm so sorry,
I
bro.
turned it. Well, here's why. Oh, I'm saying that to explain why I forced myself to have a positive outlook on Project Grad, and for what. And I'm a pretty simple person. I just like to enjoy stuff that I just like to take things on the chin and just like just have fun. So we were all getting crunk as shit on the
Yeah.
drive to Project Grad. We were acting like a bunch of autistic monkeys, but it was fun. My voice got very hoarse from doing that because someone was leading a Black Panther chant, and it was really cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that
Yeah.
remember
was the
that.
gayest
It was
thing.
cool in
That
the
was
moment. Looking
okay,
back on it, it was
that's
pretty
like
sus.
number 3 in the
Yeah, I mean,
gay.
that was the meme at the time, you know.
Yeah,
I
it's
guess
dated.
it's a
And
terrible fucking idea.
to be fair, there's 2 parts of Project Grad that were, in my opinion, for me, were absolutely fucking cool. Was the laser tag, which, like Wyatt said, was only like 1 turn, whatever. But the part that I had a lot of fun on personally was it was like combat archery. With the phone, like basically you put on like a paintball mask.
It's like paintball,
yeah.
but with
Yeah, they set it up
archery.
in this part of the ball, this like room where they have like small like inflatable obstacles and like arrows on the ground. It's basically like the combination of dodgeball, paintball, but with archery with like arrows that are, instead of arrowheads, it's like foam tips. So like it feels like someone hits you with a sock and bop, like like a foam baseball bat if you get hit by it.
That reminds me, those things were ran by like former, they're like 20, 22-year-old losers that had to spend the whole night there
Yeah.
too. It just reminded me, like, if I had a bad time, imagine them. They had to sit there at one place and just had to deal with our just annoying, sweaty
Yeah.
asses.
That was the most fun I had at that place. I
Yeah.
kept going back there because I was just having too much fun. I'm a very physical person. I like to actually do stuff like paint, especially like at that time I was into like airsoft. So like I'm like combat archery. Oh, cool. So yeah, I just pretty much spent that in my entire time there.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, it's kind of retarded, but whatever. It was fun. I try to make the most of it.
Yeah.
No, it was fun. It was fun. But after a while, I at least got really bored of it. And I was just so over
Yeah,
everything.
I think for me, I had a particularly bad time because like every single member of like my main friend group all said they weren't going. I was like the one freak who was like, "Oh, I think I'll try it out. I think I'll gamble on this event that they're not telling us anything about, and I'll throw my $200 this way." I got the early bird price.
Damn, you spent
Yeah.
$200
Was
too?
the early bird price really $200? I swear it was less than
I
that.
told you it was expensive. It
No,
wasn't
it was-
I thought
that
it was at least
cheap.
like 150. Not I can't
Maybe I was-
remember, so I'll take your word for it.
That's still fucking expensive for that.
But I just
Okay.
remember like pacing back and forth and just thinking to myself, I spent $200 on this. I spent $200 on this. I was like loopy as hell.
That's all I've been saying
Well,
except 300.
okay, so to be fair, I started to see what you guys were saying because they closed the combat archery. Like, keep in mind, this thing went from like whatever PM in the evening all the way to like 5 or 6 a.m. in the morning. So they eventually closed like the combat archery around like, I forget, it was like 11 or 12 or something like before midnight. And then I joined you guys all with this dinner, and like they brought on a quote unquote hypnotist. Who would like to talk about the hypnotist?
Yeah, Axel,
Sorry,
you
go
go
for
for
it.
it.
Let me take this. So, okay, so they brought the hypnotist very, very late. Actually, what
It
time do
felt
you
like
guys think it was?
1 or
I
2
know it
o'clock,
was like,
maybe.
Bro, freaking like 19
I think it was
hours
like
into
2
the
to
event. I
3.
don't know.
Yeah, the hours started
Yeah,
blending.
I think it was like 2 or 3 o'clock because I remember mentioning the time. So basically, it was just fucking terrible. It was it was like 2 to 3 o'clock. So you're already exhausted because you've been doing stuff like that combat archery thing, the laser tag, and you're sweaty, you're tired, and after a while, especially the time, you end up getting sleepy. And so then they thought, hey, what's a good, what's good to have around this time? A fucking hypnotist.
Hypnotist
So
with air quotes.
what happens is yeah, quote unquote hypnotist. Really, it was just some random guy screaming at a microphone. The guy that worked the sound systems or whatever, I think was fucking retarded because he just put the volume on max. So it was like this middle-aged Asian dude just shouting, "Hey,
Oh, bro, your microphone exploded. But it's exactly what it sounded like.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's gonna be a
It
nightmare
was
in
just
post.
that, and he had a bunch of kids on like the chairs, and then he would make them quote unquote fall asleep. And then I was at my table. I was literally trying to heckle, but it was so fucking loud that they
From
couldn't
the
hear
bed,
me.
everyone was so sleepy.
And
Everyone was so tired, and they kept trying to go back to sleep, but he kept screaming at them.
yeah, he was like, "Hey, they go to sleep. No, you guys watch." But yeah, it was like 2 in the fucking morning, and then I started screaming shit like, "Oh, I could fucking make them fall asleep because it's fucking 2 in the morning. Everybody's falling asleep." And I was just going. I was so furious that they brought this guy up, and he was just doing the dumbest things, like making people act like chickens, which is, maybe if it really, I don't really believe it because I did one of those kind of shows, and it was just you listen to him and then you kind of like buy into the show. It's I don't even know. It's I don't know.
It's
You
like
feel like
acting
doing what
almost.
they tell you. You don't actually. Yeah, it feels just like that. So I saw through all that bullshit, and the sleeping thing was the dumbest thing too. It's like it's 2 in the fucking morning. Of course they're gonna fall asleep. But yeah, it was just a terrible experience. The guy was so loud, I started getting a headache. Me being a pussy, but also the food was terrible, so that might
Yeah, and
add
also
on to
you're
that.
hella sleep deprived at that point, you know?
Yeah, you were sleep deprived. Like the whole day, you were practicing for your graduation. You were practicing on walking basically, but yeah, you're awake the whole time, just prepping. Especially for the females, I can imagine they probably woke up earlier to get everything together, including their makeup and all that. And yeah, it was not a good experience with that quote
Yeah,
unquote
it was just
hypnotist.
really cringe and stupid, and he had a dumb red blazer on. And actually, I talked to someone I have a friend who went to Kamehameha,
Yeah.
same grade as us. Apparently, he went to their project grad too.
He went to our project grad.
No, I mean like the hypnotist went to Kamehameha's project grad too.
Oh, the guy.
Yeah, I asked him
Really?
I asked my friend and some of his Kamehameha friends how their project grad went. And they said they went to Kehi Lagoon and they had a bunch of food trucks and they just hung out on the beach throughout the night.
Sounds good.
And then way in they brought in a stupid
I
hypnotist with
was
a red
native
blazer
Hawaiian.
and dumb jokes. And I was like, oh my god. Because man,
Oh
you're
my
so
god. And what did he say about him?
I don't remember exactly, but he said essentially the same stuff that you said, Axel. Of just yeah, he made everyone act
Yeah,
like
it was just
chickens and
terrible.
walk around like Victoria's Secret supermodels and nobody, everyone was clearly
Oh
faking
yeah, I
it.
hated that.
Can
And
I interject real fast?
oh yeah,
Uh,
I'll just finish
Sorry if
my
I
thought.
interrupt you in the middle. I think there was a latency issue, but
Oh yeah, no,
I think what was really off-putting about this guy was that everyone was not in the mood for it. I think maybe if they did it,
No, there was some people that were
yeah,
into
yeah.
it. I'm not
And I
even
think
gonna
I was
lie. They
kind of
were
into it.
people. I'm like, how
I
the
was kind
hell
of
are you
into it, but
enjoying
then
it?
I think at one point I was like, okay, this is starting to
Yeah,
look a little is pretty BS. But
yeah,
because he
the
did have
problem
an
was that
audience.
he did it at 2 in the morning when everyone was kind of over. Even me, who was trying to keep an optimistic view, I was kind of over it by 1 or 2 a.m. because I was already tired and shit, and I ate.
It was just bad timing.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculously long. I remember it was so
Yeah.
Everyone
long.
just didn't want him there at that
It-
moment in time. It probably would have been better if he
Yeah,
did it while everyone was eating. So like it was kind of background. It was like if you pay attention to it, and if you
that would be
hired a
better.
better audio guy too,
And
that
also
might have
not as
helped as
long.
well.
Oh yeah, they just had like a 6-year-old kid put in the max ball. Just
Yeah.
fucking hated it. It was just terrible. It was that kind of shit that they talk about in Guantanamo Bay, where they like blast Paris Hilton at them and they don't let them sleep. You know how they like blast Paris Hilton, doesn't let them, and they don't let the terrorists sleep.
I
It was
think
just
I
like
remember
that.
hearing
I mean,
something
now
about that.
thinking about it,
Oh, man.
they're keeping us fucking awake, just blasting shit at us. And then we weren't allowed to go to certain areas like the bathroom. They literally had people walking in there and like kicking us out because there was one point I just went there and I just started hanging out. And then I just did ranting the whole time as if I was like a stand up comic. It was fucking gay, I'm not gonna lie. But it was actually a lot more decent than the actual the ballroom area. It was quieter too. And yeah, I got kicked out just because I was hanging out in the bathroom.
Well,
It was
to be
fucking
fair, they
stupid.
kick people out of the bathrooms because people would go to the bathroom to do drugs, or it's presumed that at least.
Well, then they could just have an adult
Yeah,
there.
I went to the bathroom.
True.
I was falling asleep
Yeah.
in the stall. I was so
It was a nice
bored.
bathroom.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was sitting.
people
in
were
the
like
stalls,
sleeping under the tables and shit
I mean,
at one point.
Yeah,
dude, Reynaldo's dad was there, and I spoke to him, and he's like, "This shit's gay." It's like, yes, agreed, and I paid for this
yeah.
shit.
That was the most painful
Wait,
thing.
Ronaldo's dad said it was.
I remember like
He basically said he didn't
Oh,
say
okay.
that verbatim, but he was basically he's like, "What the
I
fuck?
reached a
This is
point where
lame."
like I just paced around the perimeter of the area we were allowed to be in, because there's nothing to do,
Yeah.
know, especially like after midnight when all the minigame people they rented had to leave. So like I just like paced back
Oh,
and
yeah.
forth and counted how many times I could complete a lap. I think I
What the
got like
fuck?
nearly to 100 before they finally let us out and like the sun was coming up.
Oh man, I
And
was
like
dead the next day.
Dude.
Oh shit.
I just remember like walking through like just the hordes of people who like put chairs together and were lounged out like on the ground and on furniture. It felt like when you look in a history book and
Yeah.
you look at like the section on smallpox in Europe and you just see like all the bodies like slumped over like
Oh my lord.
it's like,
Yeah, they're just laying them out.
oh man,
Dude, I
dangerous
hated
experience.
that. It was just terrible. And the food also pissed me the fuck off. Like, it could be a crappy place, but maybe they could have like thrown the majority of the money on the food. Who knows? But it was just so bad that I remember I didn't even eat like an actual meal. I just ate the the spam with
Yeah.
sous vide.
It just felt like
And that was
mostly
really it.
snacks.
What's
Yeah,
hotel
it
food?
was just
Hotel food is
snack
like
foods
something. It's like it looks nice, but it's actually like kind of just average.
No, I've been to hotels that served me really good food. That was just fucking
Yeah.
terrible. It was just
And
Wow. I don't know what to say to that then.
it felt like such a fever dream, which is why it was so
Yeah.
like. That's why it was so intense when
Yeah, that's
I heard
why
that the
I
hypnotist
kinda see it
visited
as, too.
Kamehameha too. It felt like the sleep
Guy's
paralysis
fucking
shadow
teleporting. He's
demon,
doing like
like
shows all
he
at the
came
same
out of my
time.
dream and he's going in other people's
Yeah.
dreams.
Just you're sleeping peacefully, and then you just hear, "Oh no, you're gonna do us like a chicken! Go, go, oh, you're
I
You
wonder
look,
how that's gonna come out in post. Oh my lord.
you look at like the pile of
That's a
laundry in the
good-
corner of your room and you see a red blazer. Just a fuck no.
Yeah,
Oh,
for real.
man.
Like, I hope this guy doesn't. Hopefully, he's not even doing shows now thanks to COVID. That might be one
My
good thing that we're getting out of this whole pandemic. Fuck red coat guy.
Okay.
Fucking
I think
terrible.
the reason why I was so the disappointment was magnified was because we're coming off this huge high. Like we graduated, we had our ceremony, we were taking pictures. I was drowning in a sea of lays because that's the thing in Hawaii. And then we go on this like bus
Yeah,
ride. We're
it was
crunk
pretty
as
good.
shit. We know we heard from some past grad parties. I was told it was like pretty lit and stuff. and then we have our.
Like
I
Wet
don't
and
know that
Wild,
one's
they
true,
have
but
that.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I could believe that one.
It was true. It's just supposedly a lot of people didn't sign up for it, so then I think they canceled it
Oh.
or something. But I know another school had it, and it was pretty awesome. I heard Wet and Wild's like, it's the water park of the island. To be honest, it sucks balls if you ever been to other water parks. But if you don't know much,
Yeah, like
pretty
me, that's
decent.
the water park I've ever been to.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah,
Wyatt and I have been trapped on this
I
island more or less
you
our,
know
our entire lives.
I have a high standard for water parks, my guy.
Okay, and I just want to clear something up. When I say
Yeah.
trapped on island in Hawaii, I don't mean it like, oh my god, I'm so mad that I'm stuck in paradise. Well, in a future episode, we can probably talk about the realities of Hawaii, but
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing, but it's not the best thing either. We'll go into that in a future episode.
Personally, I feel like I'm spoiled, so it's kind of unfair when I start comparing things to
Yeah,
other
you've
things
seen
that
more
I've
of the world
experienced.
than Wyatt and I combined, so yeah, your opinion, of
Yeah.
course, would be different.
But yeah, I mean, if you don't know much, like Wet and Wild's it's a good time. It's just for me when I went there, it's like, oh, this is fun, and then I already finished like all of it, and pretty fast. I'm like, that's it. There's nothing more. Like I've been to water parks that had a shit ton, like it's like a Disneyland basically, but just water,
Disneyland, but
and
wet.
it'd be in like the coldest area, and it was. I've been to indoor water parks, and they were just super cool.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
But
I would
yeah,
like to see one of those one day.
yeah, I've been to a few actually. But yeah, apparently other schools had them at Wet and Wild, the Project Grad, and they said it was a great time.
Man.
It's okay. Well, we're
Yeah.
out of high school now, and now acquiring student debt in college, or at least Wyatt and I am.
Nah,
But you know, I think that was an appropriate way for our class to go
benefits.
out. Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Oh yeah, it was like a
We
fucking
went from
dud.
the highest of highs of graduation to just like a sad wet fart
How I
the
saw it,
next day.
how I saw it, it was like a last fuck you from the school. I was like, yeah, fuck you.
Exactly.
I took $300 and you're asleep, bitch. What are you gonna do? Get off my campus? You're trespassing.
Yeah, what, you're sleepy? Try. Sleep. Now.
Yeah, it was-
Try.
Okay, so
Oh, man, right when I said that, I thought, oh, I should have said
since we're on the topic of high school, let's does anyone have any
hated
high
high
school
school.
experiences or stories they like to share?
Oh, you remember high school, quote unquote, got like a shooting
Should we
threat?
talk about
dude.
that? Should we talk?
And
Oh, we can
Oh,
touch on
yeah.
it
Fun story.
lightly. We
it
can-
was pretty funny because I kind of
okay.
remembered it.
Go.
was,
Talk about it.
It was the
I
morning.
can, and White and I can
Yeah,
compliment
so
your story.
I told my parents about it because apparently like it went around through social media, everybody mentioning it. And then my mom was like, I don't give a fuck, go to school. Like she called the
What's the
bluff.
threat for people who might
And-
not be in the?
Was there like an image of a
No,
gun
it was just
or
like a
something
black
later on?
screen.
But first it was
a
like
black screen.
a
Where,
shoot.
so it's like
It was
it's like,
something gay. It was-
don't come to school tomorrow. I know someone who's said they're gonna shoot up the school at this date and whatever.
Yeah. And then I heard that later on that day of the actual thing that was supposed to go down, a picture of an actual firearm was
Really?
like posted or something. I don't know if it's true because I never saw the picture myself. This is you take a pinch of salt with everything I say about
Yeah,
this.
your
But,
mom seems like the kind of
a
person.
grain of
Your
salt,
mom
that's
seems like the
what-
kind of person who's like, I don't care if you fucking die at school, you're going.
Yep.
Yeah, basically. But I mean, my parents didn't see
Oh.
the picture, but they just heard about it and they're like, bullshit. They don't have the balls. And basically, I went to school and there was actually a noticeable absence of students. I mean, it wasn't
Yeah, I
completely
don't think
empty
I went.
because there's other
I don't think I
people
went
there
either.
too.
I just got more use that excuse not to go.
Yeah,
This is during the 20
yeah.
teens
I mean,
when
that's
like
what a lot of people did.
school shootings were a lot more
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, prominent.
Was that
The
along the
current
heels of Parkland?
And
It was like on the heels of Parkland and I think
Yeah,
the
I
Las
think
Vegas
so.
shooting as well, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, something like that.
so yeah, exactly. So there was, tensions and all that. But anyways, when this happened, I think it was somebody's
wait.
funeral,
Oh
someone in
wait,
the military's
wait.
funeral.
No, wait.
Because,
This was not that day, but this was a following day because this was when I went to school because I think I did miss that. I don't remember if I missed that day, but there was noticeable.
Okay.
There's tension on campus
Huh.
because of this shooting threat, and
yeah,
one day.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
Okay,
so
sorry. Continue.
Don't say the name
sorry,
of the
Sorry, I'm
military
I
base.
sorry.
interrupted me. Yeah, you're good. But I'm not sure if I don't even remember it clearly. Maybe it was a cannon. I know it was
It was
really
a
loud,
ceremony.
but yeah, it was probably it was a cannon. It was
Yeah.
louder than a regular small arm. But anyways, I don't know what was happening. It was probably a ceremony, and Hawaii's littered with the military bases and all that. So our school is obviously not going to be too far away to not hear a cannon. But everybody was thinking about a shooting and everything. So as soon as that happened, oh yeah, we were at the table, like me, Cello, and our like group. Wyatt wasn't there.
We can
But yeah, it
come
was
back to Hawaii.
breakfast time. So yeah, I had a bagel. I remember that. I had a bagel with sour cream and all
Important
that.
details, I see.
And I surprisingly still remember that. But basically the cannonball goes off and all the students just started running except our group. I noticed that only a few of us like left, but the rest of us like stand our ground like a retards. It was like they're not gonna get us. And, it was like we didn't even do shit to them. And then I'm just like standing there with my bagel, just watching people running and like trying to enter classrooms. And I'm like, the fuck are you guys talking about? And like, it's just like, for some reason, I knew that it wasn't. I didn't know that it was a cannon, but I knew it wasn't like a gun, like a small arm. And so, we all were. Maybe all you guys were thinking the same thing, and that's why we didn't leave. Or maybe we're just standing our ground, like a bunch of retards. But all I knew was like we were like the only people in that area, and everybody else just fucking ran. And after that, a bunch of students were brought back. Some of them didn't even come back after that. But I heard that people were like crying and shit, and teachers were like, come in, locking them in the classroom and shit. And then it was pretty funny. It was like, man, I really just could have ended my life for something stupid as my pride. But yeah, it was a pretty dumb day.
So
Yeah.
what? So yeah, it's pretty much our high school's equivalent of like where were you in 9/11, except not as tragic. It was more
Yeah.
like a bunch of dumb idiots running
Well, no,
around.
that more of our where were you of 9/11 was when that nuclear
Oh
scare
yeah.
We can get into that
Yeah,
in a
that
different
was-
episode.
I feel like for our school specifically, it was when
Yeah, I guess we can. Oh, that was awesome! I loved all the racial
And
slurs
actually,
on that shit.
you know what? I realized that Logan, you should probably censor what I just said because that's very specific to our school, and you could very easily Google that article.
Well, who's gonna listen?
Let
Wait.
them fucking
Wait,
leave.
why? Where were you? We were deviating a little hard. Where were you when the fake shooting happened?
I was also in the cafeteria eating by myself. No, I have
my
a
God.
group of friends that I eat with, but we only
What
ever
a
meet at lunch
loser.
because we're always busy during recess. So I was eating by myself, and I heard the like distant like, pa, pa, and then everyone started freaking out.
Was it
No,
three
it was like
times?
multiple times.
It was like a 21 gun salute, but with cannons.
okay.
I remember.
Well, then that'd be 3 times. Because 21 gun salutes, it's like 7 guns and 3 times
Well,
they
3
shoot.
times at once. Yeah.
No, not 3 times at once. It's 3 times
Well, I mean
separately.
7 at once.
But the
like
7
3
guns at
times.
once. Yeah.
Math.
Okay, yeah,
Anyways,
so
it doesn't even fucking matter. All that it's a.
I just see
last night.
like, you start hearing the distant sound. Well, first you heard everyone get really, really quiet, and then you hear the distant pa pa, and then you hear everyone start screaming and running. And I was confused. It didn't even occur to me that was like a firearm of some sort. I was just like, what is the distant sound?
Because it didn't really sound
Yeah,
like It didn't even sound
like,
like a gun.
Does fire artillery count as firearms?
Yeah, but it's not small
Okay.
Yeah.
arms.
Oh yeah, true.
Like, who the hell would fucking bring a fucking buccaneer just brought a cannon into the school?
Shooting up a school with
The
a
hell?
pirate cannon.
Yeah, it's like, hey, stand there. I gotta prime
Yargy
this whole thing.
scallywags better not come to school tomorrow.
Fucking carries
Yeah.
a cannon. Not like that big ass gun from Pirates of the Caribbean with that midget.
Yeah, it's
Just
like
flies back.
circulating on social media, just a Snapchat photo of someone's hook hand. So anyway,
Come to school tomorrow.
That'd be fucking funny.
everyone started freaking out, so I was like, well, I don't know what to do. I guess I'll freak out too. I didn't freak out, but like, I just went behind the stage and I ducked
Then-
behind some of those like mats that they roll up. I think for
Oh, for, like,
cheerleading.
cheerleading,
Concealment.
I just went behind that and I went real quiet and I was like, all right, what's going on? I need to assess the situation. So I like, crouched there for a little bit and I was like,
that was smart.
all right, literally nothing's happening. And then I just like walked out and I went
were you,
back to class.
How long were you back there hiding behind cheerleading mats?
It was like 2 minutes. I was just like sitting there just
Oh,
listening
okay.
to the noise, you know?
Just evaluating
Yeah.
the situation.
It would have been
And
funny if you were there for like half an hour.
Yeah.
Then guys, where's the shooter?
Never gets out.
Why does recording the podcast there to this day?
Yeah.
But yeah, after I just went back to class and I had band. I was freaking late to band, and you don't want to be late to band. So
Yeah.
yeah, I was late like 5 minutes to a rehearsal once because I thought the time it started was different. For rehearsals, yeah, again, you have to show up like 10 minutes early, even though they put the time. Whatever, you know what I mean. If they say the time to meet up is like 5 o'clock, you have to show up at like 4:45. You know. Just I don't know, whatever. But I was 5 minutes late.
It's like military.
I was 5 minutes late, and all the teacher said was, "All right, Wyatt, see me after class." And then he just went on with a rehearsal, and I was like, "Oh shit." He took me aside after class. I had to go into his office, separated from like the main band room, soundproofed from everyone. And it's like,
Yeah, it was a soundproof room, so all you could see is them talking, but you could not
Yeah.
hear anything. It was pretty cool.
and he just like lectured me for like 10, 15 minutes about like, why were you late? Do you know why you shouldn't be late? You know why it's important to not be late? Do you know how important band is to your life? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Just like a
Bro, you know what that reminded me of? I mean, if you're
he
done,
just
if
gave me
you're
a
done.
total earful, and I was just like, I never want to experience.
Thought I was gonna die.
Yeah. Was that the tall one, Wyatt, or was it the short one?
Tall one. Yeah.
Yeah, the
the-
tall one. Okay.
Yeah.
So
The guy.
Yeah, the guy. So I remember being. This must have been like what's it called? Concert band. It's your freshman
Yeah.
year. You have to do it. Well, I was there, and one day my mom just walked in, and then she started telling. She got addressed by him, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" And then my mom says, "I'm looking for Axel," and then I just like called my mom. I'm like, "I'm here," and then basically it's like, "What?" And I didn't get called by the office or anything. I should have known this through the office. And she said, "Well, yeah, I told them, but they're like being assholes and not telling you guys or something. Hindering the whole process of getting me out of school because of an
Right.
appointment or something." And my mom says, "All right, let's go. We got an appointment and we can't be late." And then the tall one was being like, he was like a shitty girlfriend with an ultimatum. It's like, I'm the teacher. It's like, if you pick her, it's like, basically just tell me like I should pick him over my own mother that gave birth to me over some playing like some glorified version of hot cross buns over actually getting a medical evaluation from a doctor. It was like the most trivial thing. It was the most trivial dilemma, if you could even call it a dilemma. And like this guy was really trying to get some freshman kid to pick him over his own mother. It was the dumbest thing.
So
But
you
yeah, my
obviously
mom
picked him,
basically
right?
said, "Fuck you." Hell no, can he beat my ass when I go home? Fuck no, I can beat his ass. He all he was like intimidating because the guy was mentally unstable.
Yeah,
Mm,
I'd agree.
But other than
I'm
that,
not going to comment on that.
yeah,
But, okay,
yeah.
fair. That's a fair.
But yeah,
That's
it
fair.
was just the dumbest thing. It's like the audacity of this guy. But yeah, that's my experience with him. I mean, he's all right of a guy when he's happy and all that. But with that one moment, I'm like, the fuck's wrong
Can
with
I
you, bro? Or like,
can
guy?
I make a note about music department?
Yeah,
Music
go ahead.
department to
Go
me,
ahead. Go ahead.
it's not a bad place. Like they have a lot of good. The teachers promote a lot of good values and good teachings and stuff. But I think
Sometimes they can
their
be out of
problem
touch.
is that I think from my personal experience, and I didn't have too much problems with music department, but my main issue with them is I feel like it kind of oversells its importance, if that makes sense. That's their one flaw. Other than that,
Oh yeah.
it's fucking great,
Yeah.
honestly. And like
Yeah.
they provided a lot of students opportunities and a lot of unique experiences, but that's just like the one issue. And even then, it's like it's not a deal breaker. It's kind of like if you have a girlfriend and she's like awesome and like a 10 out of 10, but she snores really loud. It's not a deal breaker, but it's just something you got to deal with.
No,
Talking about?
I really wish I had your outlook. I really do.
Me too.
I look
Me too.
everything at everything a little bit more positive. And to be fair, I was kind of compared to at least Axel's group. Our group was kind of like the favorite child between mine and the groups Wyatt and I were in. We were kind of like the favorite childs of the music department, so we got treated a little bit better
Yeah.
than everyone else.
Yeah, we were given the fucking scraps of the
Yeah.
funding. It
And
was
like,
Yeah.
while I was in one of the favorite
fucking
groups,
trash.
I didn't start there. I started the same place Axel did, in concert band.
No,
Exactly.
yeah,
I mean,
Wyatt
all of us
grinded
started there, so at
for
least
it, man.
we have an opinion and a common area.
Oh man, yeah, I could rant so long about
Let's
just
not
how my time in
let's
music
not go too
department.
hard on the
Okay,
music
listen, all
department.
right, I won't say much, but I will say,
Just summarize.
if I could summarize in one sentence, music department, my overall experience, in summary, it's a cult, and it makes me want to scream until I vomit blood every time I think about it.
Oh, that was a great thing that you just said. It being a cult, because I do notice. I may be crazy, but I do notice. It's it sounds ridiculous, but if you really look at it, you would see what I'm talking about. You remember this famous thing, band camp?
Oh,
It's like, what was it, summer? Yeah. Okay. So hear me out. Not all of them. Not all of them, but hear me out. A noticeable amount was at band camp when they came from there later on in the year after going to band camp. They came out as gay, and I'm not saying anything, but it looks like they were secretly funding a gay conversion camp. I'm just saying. I just noticed that. I may be crazy, but I noticed that. I'm just saying that. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not adding
Do you
anything more
guys
to
have
it.
any interesting Bandcamp stories?
I've never been to band camp because I'm
Really?
not gay.
yep.
Well, no, but we were
Never
forced to
been
go to
there.
band camp, or at least I was forced to go to orchestra camp.
Sure, forced. No, I just fuck
Wait,
with
did
you.
you have to go?
But no, I
Or
never
was it
been there.
only the like
No.
our orchestra and band, the
I
top
think it was.
orchestra and band went?
Do you guys have to pay for that?
Wait, no, band camp is for the kind marching band.
That's only for marching band.
No,
Yeah, but wait, you had to pay for an orchestra camp, and they made you go there.
wait. Okay, so I'll
The
give you
fuck is this? The Church of
I'll give you
Scientology?
my
They're making
take
you
on
pay for all this
orchestra
shit.
camp. If it's pretty simple. So basically, we go to
Yeah.
Should I say the name of the camp? Or
Yeah, go
so
ahead. Nobody
yeah,
cares.
sure.
I doubt any of these guys will care enough to look it up. If they do, good for them.
Yeah.
Okay, so we went to this camp called Camp Erdman. It's like in the north shore of it's in the north shore of the island we're on. It's a pretty. It's supposed to be like a fun little. It's actually run by the YMCA, I think. I think
Yeah.
that's true. That's correct. It's pretty simple.
I remember driving by there, and
It's pretty simple. It's just like there's some like cabins for like a group to like chill, to like shower and whatever, sleep in. And there's like a mess hall or dining area where they serve mediocre food, and there's like places to like for like group act. It's mostly like the way it's advertised. It's like a family experience, like where you bond and like do group activities and shit. But what the orchestra does is we use it as just like a place. We go there, we bring our instruments, we bring our stands, we bring our chairs. We go there and we rehearse throughout the day. And
really?
dude, well,
Sounds terrible.
It's an entire weekend. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We leave Friday. We leave and we leave like Friday morning. We leave Sunday
it's only
morning.
a weekend? I thought it was gonna be like weeks.
It feels like weeks.
I think some places will do like a week during the summer or something like that.
And it's like they do.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of
camp, but only a
rehearsals
weekend.
with the group and with like your section. So if you're a group of cellos, you practice with a cello, someone who specializes in like playing the cello or whatever. So
Yeah.
for our and then they threw on like these little like dumb icebreakers or social things in between. And I honestly hated it because, like, first of all, I have a cello, and to lug that thing around across the island. Well, I didn't do it personally, but just having to move that piece.
Across the island, where you?
Well, I wasn't carrying, but like it's not a convenient
Yeah,
item to lug
like,
around.
that's
It's
kind of
only
an
it's like a
exaggeration.
small base. It's not that big, but it's still big enough to be an inconvenience. And the rehearsals are so long, man. If it's like 2 hours, 1.5 hours at a time, and you're doing that quite a few times a day, and it's like, I don't know, it's just frustrating. I don't know. It was not the best experience if you're not into orchestra.
Well,
How about you, Wyatt?
very fortunately didn't have to go through band camp in high school. I think we had a vote near during my last year of band on whether or not we should have a band camp. And I think I was like one of the only ones who voted no. It's like, you guys are crazy. You want to bring that here? So, I did go to a band camp in middle school. Middle school band was a lot different because they didn't expect you to sell your soul to the band. You're allowed to just, be self-aware and realistic about, hey, this isn't going to be my total life, but this is a cool thing to try.
Yeah, middle school was a bit more chill.
Yeah, so I think the format was very similar to what you said, Logan, of just like just practice for a few hours and then go do something else, and then icebreakers. The icebreakers are the worst part. They're very
because it's cringy. It was cringy, and like it felt very forced. And if you're not into it, you're really not into it.
Yeah.
You have to buy into the fakeness. It felt kind of fake too, but it's okay. I mean, it's people. To be fair, it's the student officers of the group, quote unquote officers of the group, that are trying to make this, and they're only going to get so good if it's student made. I don't blame them for trying. It just wasn't a fun thing to deal with.
And I'm not gonna lie. When I did the icebreakers, there was something worthy of mentioning other than the things I usually mention on the icebreakers. And they say something interesting about yourself, something cool that you did, or somewhere you've been. I just feel like a complete asshole always when I do it. And it's felt like I was trying to sell myself as like somebody that I really wasn't, or at least I don't like to see myself as. I now don't like to see back then I was like a complete snobbish asshole. And
we still are sometimes.
It was just, okay. I still am. I know that. No. Believe me.
Fair enough.
There are times that if somebody mentions a flex, sometimes I feel like I have to compete with it. But yeah, I feel like that all the time when we were at middle school, high school, and we had to do like icebreakers. I always had to mention something like, "Oh, I lived here. I've been there." And now looking back at it, I feel pretty bad about it. is like, I don't know. I just feel bad
Honestly,
about it, and I hate.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I hate about icebreakers now.
honestly, no one's like. I don't think anyone is either rarely ever, if ever, like socially competent in high school. If you're awkward in
Oh,
high
yeah.
school, who is like, yeah, so is everyone else. Who cares? It's not abnormal. If you peak in
Yeah.
high school, I feel sorry for
Yeah.
you, honestly.
That's sad. Yeah, you really should have just killed yourself before you graduated, man.
Okay.
But you're too late now. Now you can't kill yourself, so I didn't tell you
Fair
to kill
enough.
yourself. Fucking loser.
Yeah, if only we all had
Yeah.
the clarity during high school to realize that it's totally normal to be weird during high school. It would have saved me a lot of
Yeah.
trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, band camp was. I had a lot of fun, but then again, that was back when like,
That was middle school though.
and yeah, like by the end of middle school, like playing my instrument, that was like what I wanted to do, like as a living, you know. That's how like dedicated I was
And-
to it.
Yeah.
And then high school was like,
Wow.
Yeah, and
I
high
didn't
school
know
really
that.
turned your opinion around, huh?
at the end of high school, I didn't even want to look at a sheet music, you know. I'm so sick of it.
Dude,
Yeah, I hated music theory so much.
it's okay.
Just God.
Well, 'cause
After
more
band, I was
felt
just.
hard. It was hardcore. Our school was like hardcore with the music department. Jesus.
I think it was. I think it was a lot more enjoyable when we weren't forced as much. Like in middle school, music was more enjoyable, just because we didn't have to give so
Yeah.
much for it.
You weren't expected to like.
When you're doing it on your own, it's a lot
You weren't
more
expected to indoctrinate yourself into the ideologies of the music teacher, you know.
Yeah, it's hard. It was hard. We had hard music, and quite frankly, I'm pretty sure Wyatt had this too. We questioned why the fuck are we doing it?
Yep.
Why are we putting ourselves through it?
I can imagine.
Maybe we're just masochists. I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably.
Everyone else around me like
Maybe.
really, really, really liked being in this really strict program, and they really, really liked the teachers to the point where I almost felt like I was the only one who had questions about what was going on, you know.
He's the only one who saw through the matrix.
Oh, me too.
No, like I genuinely felt like I was being gaslit, you know, just like, do none of you see how this is kind
Yeah.
of insane? The kinds of things that the teacher's saying.
It's the only sane guy in Jonestown. Like, silence him quick.
That's
Just force
what
feed
it
him
felt
the
like.
Kool-Aid.
Moving from concert band to the top band was like all the people who had enough of his BS just left, you know, or had enough of the teacher's BS just left.
Uh,
So I was
Yeah.
all the tryhards who wanted to
Yeah.
like dedicate their whole lives to it.
Well, on the bright side, we're done with high school. We're definitely done with music department. We're now free to acquire a ton of student debt from college. At least college is easy.
No, I got benefits.
What?
Oh yeah, I'm
bitch.
sorry, except Axel, because
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, nice.
No, motherfucker.
we
Bleep
didn't.
that
Okay.
shit. We're not mentioning
Oh,
that.
okay. I'll bleep that. Sorry. Just
Yeah,
sound like
thanks.
a shady organization, I guess. Some unnamed organization Axel's working for. Okay. So, we've been running for like an hour 20.
Bleep that
Okay,
too.
Shit. Okay,
Just
so
yeah, that's
I'm looking at my timer right now. We've been running for an hour 20. Should we wrap?
yeah, shoots.
Yeah, we
Okay.
should
What we said
wrap.
was interesting enough to hold people's engagement. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With
I think
any.
we still did good enough. We made
Yeah,
enough
all right,
content.
viewers. If you're listening this far in and you're hearing my voice right now, thanks for sticking with us.
Comment
through this.
potato.
Do that. Dare you?
Comment. Okay. You want to rap, White, or should I?
You can rap. I'll give you a beat.
Okay. No, we're not doing that. I'm mentally too white to rap. Okay. Anyways, thank you everyone for listening to our first episode of the Spam Folder podcast. If you're watching this on YouTube, please leave a like, comment any questions you have, or just comment potato. Either one, either or. If you have any questions for any of us here, any suggestions. That would all be greatly appreciated.
Yeah, definitely.
And
Keep in mind, this is the first episode, so hopefully
yeah,
we'll get
we
better.
will get better.
Any questions you have, or just like stuff you want to ask us, or like disagreements or debates you have with friends over certain things, like let us know. It'd be fun to talk about that kind of stuff.
Or if you want to just call us retarded,
If it's
that's
good,
also
better be
fine,
good.
because we are, and we know. Actually, don't comment that, because we know
you
already.
won't be the first person. You wouldn't
Yep.
be the first.
Okay.
Or the
All right.
last.
Thank you, everyone, for listening or watching, however you're listening to this, you're enjoying this podcast, and bye.